Welcome to the Prompt Engineering Podcast, where we teach you the art of writing effective prompts for AI systems like ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E, and more. Each week, we explore prompting techniques, interviews with experts and newbies, and tips on selling your prompts. Here's your host, Greg Schwartz.
Welcome, everyone. If you have a prompt you would like to collaborate on, please go ahead and put that into this form. Okay, looks like I haven't seen anyone with a prompt. So if anybody does have a prompt that they'd like to collaborate on, go ahead and write something in the chat and you can paste it into this form. If not, I'm going to pull up one of the prompts that I've been working on. Yeah, I think let's do this. Let me pull up. So for some context, I ran a big analysis of PromptBase, which actually I just realized you may not know what PromptBase is. PromptBase is a place where people sell ChatGPT prompts. I ran a big analysis of it because I wanted to figure out what are some good areas for me to focus on for writing prompts to sell. So this is the analysis, and here is the 5,000 or so different prompts from PromptBase, and it's got the price, it's got the number of sales, it's got the amount sold, etc. Anyway, I analyzed this, turned it into basically categories. So PromptBase has these categories, but they're very, very broad. And so I wanted more finely grained categories. And then I turned those into basically what are a bunch of niches that have high sales and low competition and medium competition, that kind of thing. So anyway, the reason I bring this up is I've been wanting to use this to basically look at two different ones that I've been thinking of, mostly because they're of interest to me, which is podcasting and dating. That said, I'll put it up to a vote for the room. Is there any of these that sound particularly interesting to build a prompt around right now? Because we're just going to go build one. Put in the chat if I'm seeing some other messages. Okay, cool. Put in the chat if there is one of these categories that sounds particularly exciting to you. And if not, I'm leaning towards podcasting. Feels a little bit too meta. So maybe event planning, but yeah, put in the chat if there is a category that you're like, ooh, I want to do that. Looks like a couple people are joining. Welcome, John.
Yes,
looks like some people are unmuted.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. It is very early here, but I'm glad to have people. I'm in San Diego, so this is 8 a.m.
Well, that's okay. I'm in Dallas, so it's 10. We're 2 hours.
Yeah, see, that's a lot better. Yeah. Oh, actually, I meant to put in the chat, where is everybody from? Sorry. Okay. Please put in the chat, where are you from? Because I am curious. And I'm seeing, all right, 1, 2 event planning votes. So here is the way that this is intended to be used. We're going to go over here and we're just going to turn on filter. And then we're going to sort this to be event planning. Awesome. Okay, so we've got some things we can compare to. So we've got a launch post, we've got an event plan, we've got a workshop or webinar, kids party, event planner, kids party, kids dream. Oh, okay, I get that. Wedding, invitation, event planner. Okay, so particularly looking at the sales, there is a rapid drop off here. So I think what I'm going to do is pull up these top 3 prompts. We can take a look at exactly what they do, and then we can go do some iteration. Oh, and I see we've got Germany and the Netherlands. Awesome. Okay, cool. Glad to hear it. I actually have some friends in both of your countries, so that's awesome to hear. All right, so this is the least performing. Okay, this is the best performing one. So what is this for? Oh, this actually is not event planning. Okay, so yeah, the ChatGPT analyzer didn't do the best job of realizing what this is. This is actually a marketing post. Sorry, a marketing prompt. So let's set this one aside. Maybe we'll come back to it. Okay, so this is, wow, that's a really vague input, but let me increase the font size, makes this readable. So this one that's performing well is basically generate ideas for an event. You put in a very short description, which I would say maybe do a little more than that, but okay. And then it outputs a theme, decor, what food you want, how to promote it, all kinds of stuff. Actually, I wonder if there's a way I can share my screen to have both of these visible at once. While I'm doing that, throw in the chat which of the techniques you think we should start with, or for that matter, just like what text you think we should start with for the prompt. So first, we're going to do a little bit of role playing. So as an event planner with 10 years of experience, by the way, I know the role part of as an event planner, that definitely makes a difference. How much of a difference the 10 years of experience thing makes, I'm not entirely clear. And this next piece, I'm also not positive how much of a difference it makes. I actually want to do a bunch of testing on it, but it, I think, will be worth playing with here. In fact, maybe I'll just rerun it a couple times and we'll see. With extensive knowledge of fun activities, let's see, party themes, costume themes when relevant. And let's see, what else should we throw in here? Basically what I'm doing is I am prompting the prompt. Ooh, got an interesting suggestion. What if you did X amount of events successfully planned instead of X years? So I'm going to actually not keep iterating on this yet. I'm just gonna copy this. I just opened a new tab. So we're just going to say, let me just finish this off, and then we're going to try that idea, Philip. Costumes when relevant and how to make a party awesome. Please advise me on how to create the most exciting party ever. I will give you ask me for the theme, number of guests, and age of guests, because we wanted to do we don't even need to say age. Kids, Mr. K, kids versus adults. I should make that a little bit clearer. And if the party is for kids or adults, then output. And of course, this is part of the reason I left this on screen. Let's see. So what did this prompt do? Audience and venue, we already talked about. Theme and decor. Okay, so then output ideas for theme, sorry, not theme, costume, theme, if relevant. Because if you're doing an adult party about, I don't know, launching your new book or something like that, maybe themes, costumes isn't really as relevant. So food to have, activities to run during the event. And then let's see, this is getting into logistics, which I actually think is a really silly idea, but I like the timeline bit. Line to market, no, how do I say this? To invite guests, can't spell today, market it to keep their excitement up. I might even throw in some wording about it being marketed on social media, because frankly, that's where pretty much we're all doing it, but we'll leave that alone. And times to, actually, I'll just keep this together, times to send reminders. All right, so we'll start there. And now I'm going to let that run. And in the background, actually, that was quick. Good. Okay. I don't even need to do it in the background. I can just do this. Okay. So the tweak we were going to make was, what was it again? Oh, X amount of events. So that's going to be, as an event planner who has planned, I don't know, 42, because that's a number I like. 42 successful events. All right. So we're going to run the exact same thing. Not really going to be very different. Oh, now that's interesting. Wow. I'm pretty shocked. Okay. So saying, as an event planner with 10 years of experience with extensive knowledge, it responded it interpreted that as ChatGPT is the one with the 10 years of experience. But saying, as an event planner who has planned 42 successful events and then no changes, it immediately went on to, great to hear about your successful track record as an event planner. That's so weird. Okay, so to create the most exciting party ever, let's start with some basic information. It asked the 3 questions I wanted it to, just like the first one did. Good. But then it gives me this long-winded answer of, I can provide ideas about how to create an amazing party. Yeah, this is odd. Okay, honestly, I actually want to just run this again because I'm wondering if there's something weird with just this one run. Let's see, how does it behave this time? Okay, so this is an example of the effect of temperature and creativity and all of that stuff on ChatGPT. I just ran it again, and it just did exactly what I expected it to. Please let me know the theme, the guests, and whether it's for adults or kids. All right, we'll come back to that very talkative version in a minute. Theme. I should have had you all brainstorm some themes while I was doing that. What theme do we want to do for this? We could do, I suppose I should have said the occasion as well, but how about we do, let's see, what's coming up right now? Can't think of any big holidays that are coming up right now. We'll just do spring. So the theme is spring, guests is, just say 20, just make it easy. And this is an adult party rather than a kid party. And this will be interesting to test some variations on. And actually, let me say spring is here, growth and rebirth. That's the words I'm looking for. All right, so we'll paste this in here. We'll paste this in here. Oh, interesting. I've never actually tried generating one at the same time. It forced me to wait for the prompt in one screen to finish generating. So we'll just read some of this off. Here are some ideas for an exciting party with the theme of spring is here, growth and rebirth. Costume theme, encourage guests to dress in colors that symbolize spring, pastel hues, bright greens. Okay, I don't know about that. Or dress up in floral prints, sure. Alternatively, you could ask them to come in outfits that symbolize growth or rebirth, such as costumes of baby animals or mythic creatures like unicorns and phoenixes. That's a bit of a stretch, but interesting idea. All right, let's let this run here. Let's see, second thing, decorations, floral, potted plants, spring themed banners. Yeah, makes sense. Serve light, fresh, colorful foods that evoke the feeling of spring. That's an interesting phrasing for food. Fruit platter with fresh berries, melon, and pineapple. Vegetable platter with carrot, celery, and cucumber. That just sounds like what you'd normally have at a party. Okay, this really does. You could serve bite-sized appetizers like bruschetta, caprese skewers, or mini quiches. Yeah, this is not spring-ish. Activities. You could set up a terrarium making station. Okay, that's actually cool. I kind of like that idea. Okay. And then timeline, send out invitations at least 3 weeks in advance, give guests plenty of notice. Yeah, okay, so this timeline is terrible. We'll come back to that in a minute, but I want to see how does this compare. So interestingly, this one, yeah, so the has planned 42 successful events basically didn't have any effect. The only differences I see is it's talking about a mocktail or cocktail would be great versus the one with 10 years of experience said a specific suggestion. How about a strawberry mojito or a lavender lemonade? Okay. I just chalk that up to the creativity, not as much to one prompt is better than the other. The activities are a little bit better, but pretty similar. Now that the timeline is actually a good bit better. So this could be just down to randomness again. But one difference is the timeline for the events planned says you can create excitement leading up to the event by sharing sneak peeks of the decor and menu on social media or sending emails to guests. Whereas the just 10 years of experience said create excitement by teasing the theme and mentioning some of the activities that will be happening at the party. And definitely think like putting on my marketing hat, this one about like sneak peeks people love sneak peeks because it's behind the scenes. Whoops. And so that's always really exciting. All right, so I'm going to try another variation here. So copy this prompt, paste it in. So Josh is bringing up that you can rerun the last generation. And yeah, let me rerun that because this is showing the error. So if I do a rerun, and part of the advantage of doing a rerun is I don't have to put in the prompt and this context again. Part of the disadvantage is it's a little bit harder to keep track, but you've got this right here, this little 3 of 3. You can click on it and page through the different responses. All right, 1's not very helpful, but 3 is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's mostly the same. Interesting. All right, so I saw in chat someone suggested calling out act as an event planner, or you are an event planner. And I wanted to test that nuance. So we're going to run that and feed it the same thing. While that is running, I'm going to go over here, make yet another prompt. So you are an event planner. Now, the other thing that I want to do is going to add the step-by-step phrasing. What I'm going to do for this first one is just for the timeline, because that's the one that makes the most sense for step-by-step. I'm going to say step-by-step, in the output ideas, instead of the part where it's just timeline. I'm going to say step-by-step timeline to invite the guests, blah, blah, blah. And the step-by-step basically causes it to think using, so a way you could describe how OpenAI works that I've heard that's very helpful is it's like a person with a scratch pad and they're literally thinking, yes, this is doing exactly what I wanted. Sorry. It's a person with a scratch pad. And if you say something like, I don't know, what's 42 times 76? Most people are going to be like, okay, let me go work on the scratch pad for a while. They can't just be like 2 times 4 is 8. ChatGPT does the same thing, but it has the, I don't know, that's overwhelming response to most things. And saying think step by step causes it to use the scratch pad in a more refined way, is the way I've heard it explained. Turns out it did exactly what I wanted with this. The step-by-step timeline now, instead of before it was send invitations a few weeks in advance, send a reminder, market the event, keep guests excited, blah, blah, blah. Now what it's doing is 6 to 8 weeks before the party, choose a date, send out save the date messages. 4 to 6 weeks, send out official invitations with all details, including theme, dress code, and all the other important information. 2 to 3 weeks, follow up with your guests who confirm their attendance, remind them of the upcoming event. 1 to 2 days before the party, set up the party space, decorate, prepare, day of the party. All right, that one's kind of silly, but most of these are really good. Let's see, put in chat. I would like to, I think maybe there's a typo in the message because I'm not understanding. I did this to define what I wanted. Hi, I'm an event planner with 10 years of experience and 42 years under my events under my belts. I would expand into different areas. How and where can I do this comfortably? Oh, I think what you're doing, John, is you're saying here's a way to expand what the event planner is working on. Okay, got it. So that is an interesting idea. I want to stay focused on this for a little bit, but we can pivot to that in a minute. The other piece that I wanted to apply to this is twofold. Number one, yet again, I'm going to open a new tab. I have a prompt building prompt, as meta as that sounds, and I want to run that. Actually, I have 2, so we can try both out. All right, so paste that in. Great. So now it responded basically with, cool, go ahead. Event planning prompt that asks for, there we go. Event planning prompt. Ask me for those things. Output ideas for these things. And let's see, the prompt also said, do understand the context and style that you prefer. Prefer an interaction of 1 round of prompt. And tone should be informal. Informal and excited. All right, so let's see what's the prompt. Okay, this didn't really work. So this is the second time I've tested this prompt out. First time it was okay, this time it's not. What it's doing is just responding with, great, let's plan it right now, and not actually really getting into the prompt that you want is blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to abandon that for a second. We're going to go use this other prompt generator because I've run across at least 3, although I can only find 2 at the moment. I'm sure there are others, but we'll run this. Great. Okay. So now we're going to paste in the exact same response to this second prompt generator, which is asking what should the prompt be about. Nice. Okay. So first off, it's saying revised prompt. You are tasked with planning a party. The theme is up to you, but I will need to know the number of guests and if the party is for kids or adults. Once I have that information, I can give you some ideas for costume, decor, etc. Then it goes into suggestions. So to improve your prompt, it would be helpful to know if there are any specific requirements or preferences you have for the event, dietary restrictions, indoor, outdoor, particular type of activity you want to include, etc. It would also be useful to know the time and date of the event, which actually I would probably not agree with, but as well as budget. And then it outputs, here's the questions that I would suggest you include. So now this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to open yet another tab and run this prompt. In fact, actually, let me just do output prompt with your suggestions, because this will just make it easier to copy and paste. Oh, interesting. All right, that didn't work. I asked it to output the prompt with the changes and it totally failed. Okay, we're going to just copy and paste this a little bit. And I've run into this a few times with this prompt builder where it's like, it's giving you good ideas, but it's not actually capable of just boom, here's your new prompt. Okay, so I can give you some ideas for these things. So then we'll just paste the questions. See if this works. Great. So it's responding to me with the now 8 questions that it is up to. I don't actually want to fill all of these out, but we'll just do some of them here. So spring is the theme. Guess is still 20, still for adults. The event is going to be next weekend. I don't know. Actually, no, that's a bad example because it'll freak out about there's no time to mark it. Let's see. Let's say May 15th. I don't actually know what day of the week that is, but whatever. Where will the event be held? Outdoors. No restrictions. Although that is an interesting idea to throw at some curveballs of, yes, the food has to be gluten-free or vegetarian, or I don't know. No specific activities and budget. I'm just going to say no budget just to see what it does. Cool. All right. So it's giving me some of the same ideas with the pastel or floral colored clothing. It's not suggesting bright green, which is a good thing because that suggestion was terrible. Decor's better. So this is saying, how about hang some paper lanterns and streamers in the shades of pink, green, and yellow to represent the colors of spring? And also, again, put plants around because that adds the ambiance, same as before. Food-wise, pretty similar. It's actually a little less creative. So I'm not going to run this over here, but I'm just going to, oh, actually can I do that? Yeah, let's try rerunning this. So number 6 was, are there any dietary restrictions or preferences? No, please make the food as creative as possible. And I think this might overwrite this one here. So let me just see, is there anything else that was interesting? Most of these are pretty similar. Timeline's not helpful. Interesting. Nice. It is suggesting a budget of $500 to $700 based on the size of the guest list and the outdoor location. All right, so running it again with the please make the food creative. Let's see what it comes up with. Ooh, did not do a good job with the creativity on the food. Interesting. All right, I'm going to just go back to this version because that was very mediocre. And then let's see. I think I want to try and run this version and give it some clearer instructions. And there is also, somebody had posted a prompt improver. Let's see if I can find that. And by the way, we've been at this for about 30 minutes. So if anybody has a prompt that they're like, I know what I want to build. I want to build, yeah, I don't know. But if you have something in mind that you'd like to collaborate on, then go ahead and put that in the chat and I can unmute you. Let me copy and paste this. Make yet another new tab. So first off, we're going to do the step-by-step thing again, which it lost at some point. Think step by step. And then once you've done all of that, wait, I think I need to do it. Yeah, okay. Ask those questions. Once I answer, I'm going to throw in the step-by-step again, just to be safe. Think step by step and think about what you could. So this is an example of metacognition. Think about what you could do to provide better results and ask those questions first. Actually, I should say, think about what you could ask me, not do. Ask me to provide better results and ask those questions. Great. Okay, so same answers can go in here. Okay, so pasted the same exact answers in, and it is not really listening to the ask some more questions directive. It's simply outputting a bunch of stuff, most of which looks pretty much the same. All right, so we'll try this a slightly different way. What questions could you ask me to make this party more creative? Yeah, that didn't do great on that. Oh, I see a message in the chat. Yeah, I think, Robert, I think that's actually the prompt creator that I pasted. Which tab did I have that open in? Ask what the prompt is, revised output. Yeah, that looks pretty similar. Let me try running yours to just see if it is different. Copy, paste this in, run it, and go back to here, what the prompt should be about. And I'm actually going to take out this because I want to see what it comes up with. So let's just say it is an event planning prompt. It should ask me for details, then ask clarifying questions, then output the plan for the event. See what it does for that. Yeah, it's still, excuse me, still doing roughly the same. It's not actually really outputting a prompt. It's outputting a little more a dialogue to discuss the idea here. All right, so I'm just gonna go back from that. So these are the questions. Could you help us make your party more creative? What's your favorite aspect of spring? Okay, that's interesting. Outdoor locations, that would be good. Do you want a DIY station? Interesting. Are there any activities that you want to try? Yeah, that's okay. Tell me what to tell you is basically what the AI is doing with number 4. And then have you considered having a theme within the overall spring theme, such as a garden party or a tea party? This could add a fun, creative twist to the event. Oh, it's saying basically narrow down the theme. That's an interesting approach. I don't know if I totally agree, but it's an interesting thing to at least consider. All right, I want to take a different approach. One of the things I've run into with this kind of thing is really getting frustrated with rerunning prompts all the time. This is a tool I built to try and make this easier. It's semi-publicly accessible. If you want access to this, let me know, but I'm not like advertising it. So we're going to create a prompt and just call it event hosting, whatever. And basically what this is, there's this history section at the top. This is where the prompt goes on the left. And then you can collaborate with ChatGPT down here. I'll give that in a second. And then these are test cases. So let me actually just find the original prompt that we've been using for a bit. Oh, where's the last one? There we go. Okay. So the idea is you put in variables. So the variables in this case are going to be the things we were saying, ask me for, because we don't need to do them anymore. So the theme is square bracket theme. I am expecting square bracket number of guests, and of guests, I could actually just say number of, we're just going to say kids or adults also in square brackets. All right, great. So what this is doing is now I can run like a spring themed party here, spring and renewal with 10 kids. And then we're going to do another one. It's being buggy. All right, whatever. I'll come back to that in a second. This one's going to be, I don't know, Halloween with 30 adults. Over here while I'm waiting. Yeah, I do have the 2 improver prompts. Okay, the idea of this is exactly like I was trying to do in the chat over here, where I was like, give me a better version of this prompt. But what this does is basically just replace, here's the improver prompt, and here is my prompt. Please give me answers on, please give me feedback. So it's giving it 80 out of 100. That's absurd, but all right, whatever. We'll try improver number 1. Let's see. And asking for ideas. Okay, these finally finished. So let me just go run these ideas again, fresh. Awesome. And now this one, the improver is finally getting to, here's ideas for improvement. More details about the theme. Yes. All right. So yeah, this is one of the problems with this improver is it mostly focuses on give me more variables, which valid, but not really as helpful. All right. Now nice. Okay. So we'll come back to this improver idea in a minute. But what this is saying is both of these are coming up with pretty run-of-the-mill costumes, pretty run-of-the-mill themes. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is part of why I wanted to be able to do this. So now we're going to make some tweaks. Please output creative, wild, and unexpected ideas for blah, blah. Let's see what they come up with. And okay, this is already better. So for the Halloween one, it's saying, why don't you do a theme of horror movie villains? And then it listed some. And then it said for the kids, you could do a spooky animals theme. Decor is pretty run of the mill. Food, see, now it's doing a lot better output. Here are some spooky cocktails, blood orange margaritas, black widow martinis, mummy dogs. Oh, okay. Also known as pigs in a blanket, but wrap the hot dog in a pastry, basically in a roll. Let's see for the spring ones. This is a little better. Okay. Yeah, it's a little better. So this is part of what I'm really trying to solve with this, because this is the problem I keep running into is like every time I make changes to this, I have to then rerun it in multiple screens. And that's annoying. Let's see what else we can do. Let me give myself a little more screen space here. Please advise. Okay, those. So we lost the step-by-step somewhere. So step-by-step timeline to invite guests, blah, blah, blah. We're going to also throw in specific recommendations for the food. Decor, I'm going to leave alone, but I do want to come back up here and we're just going to throw a couple of other ideas in, and this is called shot prompting. So in other words, right now I'm doing 0 shot prompting, which is I am not telling it any examples. What I'm going to do is say, for example, if I ask for a party, I need to do something that is not either of the ones that I'm doing right now. Let's see. How about a summer party? For a summer party, and actually I should reorder these. Sorry, I'm just realizing that. No, that'll be okay. All right, so if I ask for a summer party, suggests drinks and outfits people can wear, suggests exciting activities such as I don't actually know what an exciting activity for a summer party would be. That's funny. We're going to go with cornhole. I don't actually like it, but it's a good example. And potato sack races. I really don't like those, but it is at least entertaining. So part of what I want to do here is just see by prompting, by giving it a one shot, see what it comes up with. And oops, another bug. Okay. I lost the values in here. So Halloween, that was going to be 20. And I think it was going to be, I remember, I'll just say adults. Yeah, that bug is still there. Yeah, you're right. It is continuing to mess up the output and merge two separate outputs in. So this makes no real sense so far. But once it finishes, in fact, it's actually three outputs because it's running it once with spring, once with the number, and once the kids are the adults. Oh boy. I will see if I can fix this. Yeah. But since I'm working on this, by the way, is this something that makes sense to you all? I know I need to add a lot of clarity on like how this works and stuff. I'm figuring probably adding just like some arrows basically saying your prompt goes here, you test things here, but is there anything that you're like, I just don't understand the concept? Go ahead and put that in chat. And it looks like I missed some chat messages. Oh, yeah. People have been polishing their resumes with ChatGPT. That totally makes sense. Okay, there we go. So let's see what it comes up with. Costume theme is mediocre. Decor is good. I like that. Spooky atmosphere using dim lighting, fog machines, and fake spider webs. It's not in any way creative, but it's at least interesting. Oh, drinks are pretty run of the mill. Photo booth with Halloween props. I like that. Okay. So let's see. I didn't actually have anything special on the activity. So that's interesting. And the timing one is, yeah, good. The timing one is coming out pretty nice. Let's just expand these to make this easier to read. All right. Food, not helpful. Yeah. So this is part of the reason why I'm doing this in here. The food is continuing to be, I guess these are not bad, but so I'm just going to say specific recommendations of exciting drinks or creative drinks. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should just embed a thesaurus in this thing to just be like, give me a bunch of words for this. Drinks along with their ingredients. And no, actually, I'm not going to ask for instructions on making them. That's a little much. Decor, particularly to stand out from other conventional parties. Great. And last, wanted to include, I liked how, I think it was over here. No, maybe it wasn't over here. One of them was like, here's my suggestion for a budget. There it is. Okay, so suggestions of budget and, oh, that was the other thing I wanted to change in here. I guess I should be doing these as not numbered bullets just to make this cleaner, whatever. Activities to run during the event, quiet, what's the right way to say this? Active activities, a little repetitive, but whatever. Quiet or relaxing activities for the event to allow guests to socialize and without being as physically active. Actually, that's what I should clarify this. Physically active activities to run during the event might be the wrong word. So to offer during the event. Okay, fix my numbering here. Budget's number 7. Go again. Oops. Come on, run. That might have caused a bug and we may get double output on this. We'll see. Oh, and I just noticed my history is totally not working because it's not updating. That's interesting. Okay, that's another bug. Let me go write that down. All right. Yeah, okay. Food and drink is definitely coming out better. Physical activities, we've got a pumpkin carving station or pin the spider on the web, the tail on the donkey, nice. Versus quiet is a cozy lounge with Halloween themed books, movies, and maybe a tarot card reader or a psychic. Okay, I like that. That's a lot cooler. Timeline looks pretty similar, so I think I'm going to work on that next. Yeah, that's the Springs timeline is not bad. Let's see. Go back up here. Oh, I like that creativity. Wait, what did it come up with for this? For the spring cleaning, sorry, for the spring party, it said you could do a flower power theme, which especially in the States would actually be pretty good. But you could also do a spring cleaning theme where guests dress up in their best cleaning gear, aprons, rubber gloves, feather dusters, whatever. That would be a fun way to play with the whole spring theme. Garden party atmosphere. Yeah. Drinks. Okay. I don't drink, so this doesn't actually sound good to me, but it's at least an interesting idea of a refreshing spring punch made with fresh fruit, sparkling water, and a splash of vodka. Scavenger hunt for physical, flower crown station, or coloring book station for the quiet activity. That's good. I like that. And then budget is, yeah, I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but interesting. Okay, yeah, it definitely knocked it out with Halloween. I think it just likes Halloween better than a spring party, which I can relate to, so I don't totally blame it. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, I just noticed I've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to paste this in the chat. If you could give me feedback on what was the most useful parts, what do you wish was different, because I'm going to keep doing these and I would love to hear about what helps and what doesn't. Yeah, let me know. And the other thing is the podcasts and the YouTube channel are coming along. If this was helpful for you, follow me on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you consume these things. That would be super helpful, and look forward to your feedback. And thank you so much. If you've got any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And I'm scanning the chat because it looked like I missed something. Really interesting how powerful but cumbersome the tool-based optimization of prompts is. Yes, it definitely is. If you're still here, Lars, I would love to hear an example of that. I think you're unmuted.
Great. I do the optimization of prompts always by trial and error and manually, and just see what happens when you change some input parameters. And yeah, it's obvious that using tools who are way faster can do better iterations, can do a process where you have a certain outline and a certain steps that you repeat all the time. And I was sort of aware that this should be, that is obviously in the software world, that there's something like this available, but I haven't really played around with it. And so that was a good eye opener on one hand, and on the other hand, I thought, thinking of the list where he started, we made some progress, but it's far from perfect, and it's far from just pushing one button. And
oh yeah,
this is something you always compete with what could humans do. And I think if we would have just talked about how could we make an awesome party for kids, an awesome party for adults, maybe we would come up with same and other things, but still it's the way to learn to work with these tools, which is really an eye-opener. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I think I just realized I don't actually know if I put let me see if I have the Gumroad link here. Yeah, if you want this list of prompts analyzed and all that, it's in the chat right now, and you can go grab that. If you have questions on it, I'm happy to just hop on a Zoom call or something like that and talk you through it. Thank you all so much for coming, and see you next week. See you around. Thanks for coming to the Prompt Engineering Podcast. podcast dedicated to helping you be a better prompt engineer. Episodes are released every Wednesday. I also host weekly masterminds where you can collaborate with me and 50 other people live on Zoom to improve your prompts. Join us at promptengineeringmastermind.com for the schedule of the upcoming masterminds. Finally, please remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening to the audio podcast, rate us 5 stars. That helps us teach more people. And if you're listening to the podcast, you might want to join us on YouTube so you can actually see the prompts. You can do that by going to youtube.com/@promptengineeringpodcast. See you next week.